right,
been
we're going to have to
hilarious.
wrap up before we get kicked off air.
Oh, no, I want to stay all night. I've just got into it. You're not cutting me off. Please.
As season 2 of What the Plug is coming to an end, we want to remind you guys that we have been sponsored by the amazing Nouveau Lashes. You can still get that 10% discount off training too for LVL training courses and LVL conversion courses. Head on over to nouveaulashes.com and enter WTP10 at the checkout. Hello, What the Pluckers!
Hello.
How are you? We are so excited about today's episode.
Oh, my God.
I know. Can you believe we've made it to the end of season 2? And do you know what? We just want to thank everybody who has listened to season 1 and season 2 and not reported us.
Yeah.
And not had us took off air.
Not had us blocked, not dragged us through mud. Stunning. Thanks for coming. We'll see you season 3. Good night.
But we have, in my opinion, we've saved the best till last.
Oh, absolutely.
We are.
And I'm just a bit scared now. How are we going to top this episode with like future guests? Do you know what I mean?
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
but before we get
go on.
into the guest, how's your week been? We always do a little
catch
up at past week.
My week has been, it's been all right actually, because after the bank holiday, I had Tuesday off, and then I've been quite busy in salon. We've had like quite a lot of variation of treatments. There's a lot of people going on holiday, so that's depressing. How has yours been?
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like, so this is personal, not work, but public service announcement.
Mm.
I'm in my gym era.
Oh, I know it's boring life, aren't me?
I love it.
I
love
hate it.
going now. And I just think, you know, obviously we've got these tickets to go see Beyonce. I just kind of remember, you know, she's rehearsing every day. She's running and singing on a treadmill.
Yeah.
She's having no carbs, meat, sugar, dairy, just to get ready for tour. So at least I can do is go to the gym and like put a bit of effort in.
And not only that, you need to keep up with dance routines. When you're there, you need to keep up with the dance routines, don't you?
Keep up.
Absolutely.
I'll be making a dance floor for myself.
Move out the way.
You'll be holding that newer ring light and getting me TikToks for me.
Absolutely, hon.
So,
that's all you're taking me for, innit?
Yeah.
Just for ring lights.
Good. I'm into gym, loving it. Then on downside, staying on Beyonce topic.
Yeah.
This is no word of a lie when I say I go to bed every night, shut my little eyes, and then my brain switches on and I think, what the hell am I going to wear?
I knew you were going to say that.
What am I going to wear?
What are you going to wear for Beyonce? Keeps asking me all the time, what you wearing for Beyonce? What you wearing for Beyonce? Jamie, I don't know.
It's about 5-6 weeks away though. I've
got a rough idea of what I want to wear, but the person who is wearing it is about 7 stone. So, and it's about 6 foot tall. So it might look a bit different. We're definitely not wearing a mirrored cowboy hat though, are we?
Oh, God, no.
No.
But I'm scared now because I think I've slagged them off that much. If it comes to it, and my outfit's a bit boring, I'm going to have to get one and everyone's going to be like, well, all you've done is slag them off.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, mind your own business.
Yeah. Well, this guest...
Moving on.
This next guest, doesn't want to introduce herself. I mean, the woman needs no introduction, really. But she doesn't want to introduce herself because it's a little bit embarrassing for her. But this woman has been an inspiration to many. And still continues to be. Legendary. Okay? Iconic. She is the most iconic person you could ever meet.
Yeah.
She has been in the hair and beauty industry since she was 14. And she's very old now. She's a dinosaur. So no, she's been in the industry since she was 14. So she's been in the industry 53 years. And she has had salons 47 years. I mean, that's amazing. 47 years. She has employed guys and girls. I mean, we're probably talking into hundreds now. Got to be. We're being that old. Got to be. We've been that old.
You're going to get cancelled in a minute.
But I want to introduce to you my mum, Anne Thacker. Woo! I love that she's just cheered for herself.
I weren't going to say that.
How are you, Mum?
I'm fine, thank you.
And you know what? I'm so happy that this is a career moment for me. You know, like up there with like when I went to do Spice Girls and stuff like that. This is actually a career moment. My mum coming on my podcast. And do you know what? My mum's opinion to me matters a hell of a lot, right? Because
it has to.
I know. Yeah. So it matters to me a hell of a lot. And I remember when I first started this podcast, I didn't tell her that I was doing it at all.
I can remember.
Can you remember?
Yeah.
And I were like we were a full season in. And I were like, I didn't tell her because I was worried about her thinking, listening it and saying, Harriet, you're talking too common. Harriet, don't swear. Harriet, do this. And I thought, oh no, she's going to hate it. She's going to think it's unprofessional, blah, blah, blah. And then one day I turned up at her house and she went, guess what I was listening to last night? And honestly, my heart dropped and I went, what? And she went, what the pluck? I've listened to 10 episodes. Yeah. She listened to 10 hours of What the Pluck, didn't you?
Absolutely.
And what did you say? You loved it, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah, I did.
She absolutely loved it. And then ever since, like, my Auntie Leslie and everybody, they've all been listening.
Auntie Leslie.
Shout out Auntie Leslie.
Shout out Auntie Leslie.
My mum's sister, absolutely iconic as well. So, yeah. But we've got some questions for you, Anne Thacker, because we want to know the secrets of being in this industry 47 years. So what has been, obviously you've been in industry, Mum, from being 14 and you've inspired a hell of a lot of people. And you told me, how much were your first wage that you used to get?
Pound.
When you used to work in hairdressers?
I had to do Friday night.
Yeah.
From school.
Yeah.
When we finished at 4 o'clock then, we didn't finish at 3:30. We finished at 4.
Yeah.
9 till 4. And then I used to go down in my school uniform to the Vells at Mexborough and work there. Then I were only folding towels and like passing rollers up to stylists and things.
Like little assistant type of job.
And
did you used to what?
I used to have to go back then at State Saturday morning till 4. And I got £1 for that. Which were a lot then.
Well, yeah, but did you look at them hairdressers in there though and think, I want to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we weren't allowed to call the lady that owned the salon. We had to call her Mrs. We'd never allowed to be called her by her first name.
Wow.
And Mrs. Bailey was the receptionist.
Yeah.
And Mrs. Lavelle was the salon owner.
So now that so at one point you did have 4 businesses at the same time, but now you've got 3. What did you used to see like in that salon? Were there anything in that salon that you were working in when you were 14, taking you back to that used to like inspire you, or anybody along the way that you thought, I want to do this, I want better for myself and I want to own my own salons or whatever?
Well, I don't know about inspiration or being inspired, but I just used to look and think that it would be on my reach and that I could never become a salon owner. Just coming from a council house with 1 of 6 kids, Irish Catholics, and just, I just thought that I'd forever be working for someone else. And luckily enough, when I did get my own salon, Mrs. Lavelle was the one that helped me.
Or that your old boss?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Did she? I never knew that.
She did, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's cute. How much did your first salon cost?
7,000. That was a house included.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, in 1977. We bought a house, a 3-bedroomed house at the side.
Yeah.
And it was like a little front room salon.
Yeah, but it's still.
It was a little gold mine.
Yeah, didn't my dad have a garage in Backery as well? For that.
Your dad had a workshop garage.
Yeah.
That he did
and
cars.
all for £7,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Bloody
Yorkshire
hell.
Bank, we got 7,000. £7,000.
Shout out Yorkshire Bank.
And you know what? I took a week
Go on.
£100.
A week?
A week.
Well, that a lot then?
What? Yeah. That was 1977.
How much did you charge for a cut and blow dry?
Oh, I can't remember. But when I went to Triber, in my first salon, nobody in 77 cut and blow wave, they used to call it.
Yeah.
Cut and blow wave. They loved it because they were all into, it were hood dryers and things like that. So they, like when you see all these.
So you were actually did it
films.
with a hand hairdryer.
Yeah, and they some of these ladies that I got on to having it blow waved, we called it then. They like go out and tell their friends, "Oh, I've had a blow wave."
I've had a blow wave,
and then everyone wants a blow wave.
Yeah. And so we like blow waved it.
Yeah.
But we did it with little brushes, and then we just tongued it a little bit.
Wow.
And they thought because they didn't have to go under the dryer.
They thought it were
like, oh yeah, it were modern. It were modern. So they love to go out and brag to the friends and say, "Oh, I've had a blow wave." Plus we charged them a bit more.
100 quid a week.
But we did love the fact that these ladies that used to sit under it dry, the old, they weren't going to ever change from having plastic sets.
Yeah.
And oh God, when we used to take rollers out, we used to snap them out.
Because it'd be so crispy.
Crispy.
Their hair was so dried and frazzled, it was crispy.
Yeah. But they used to love it. We'd sit them under it dry for an hour. An hour.
And just have a chin wag.
We'd give them a cup of tea and a magazine. Oh. And we let them smoke then in salon. they had ashtrays. Wow. When we bought the hood dryers and the dryer banks, there were built-in ashtrays.
Wow. No way.
Absolutely.
So there were dryers.
Hood
dryers, and there were a built-in ashtray. Love that.
Ashtray. There's some of the stylists that smoked while they were doing the hair.
Stop.
Absolutely, Jamie. They did. They had the ashtrays on the worktop. Luckily, I never smoked. So.
Wow.
And sometimes, like when you were doing someone's hair, you were putting the rollers in, I think, and they just have a puff and blow it in your head.
Blow it in your face.
Back off. But yeah, it was so unhealthy when you think, and all this, today, what we've got with everything healthy and imagine
like
them just blowing smoke in your face.
Well, like on one of other episodes, we did client horror stories, and someone wrote into us and said that they went for a treatment done, and an LVL. And while they were laid on bed with their eyes shut, having their LVL done, the stylists were vaping behind them, and they said all they could smell were like strawberry watermelon bubble gum.
Yeah.
Imagine. And you know what we did? This is even when I got Wath, which was 1985.
This is when you got second salon. Wath.
Yeah, we had standard ashtrays at the side. We bought ashtrays.
Do you know what I actually remember? And this is probably, obviously this is in my lifetime. I remember one of the hairdressers that used to work for us, John, can you remember Mum, years ago? He used to use fag ash to actually get rid of hair tint staining.
It was fantastic.
He used to, and you know, while they were mixing a colour in the staff room, he used to have a fag in his mouth while they were doing it. And I'd be like, now when you think of that, it's just crazy, isn't it? To actually think that now, that's never going to happen, ever.
Yeah.
We used to have ashtrays on a stand.
I remember them, Mum.
At the side of the chair.
And it came off. Ashtray. My nan used to have one.
Yeah. And it was like a little rubbish bin underneath.
Yeah. And I can remember you used to press top. And it would spin and go under. Yeah.
Well, we had them in the salon.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that were right. And they used to come out and, if they got like someone had tinted them and they were quite low down with tint, fantastic.
Yeah.
They'd go in back and we just keep it in a little jar.
Fag ash.
And there's just, we'll just get you some stain remover. and it
was fag ash.
A bit of water. It was brilliant. Bring it out.
Their hair looked great, but it stunk of tobacco.
Well, they didn't know what it was.
I want to ask you, Anne, if you've got any advice for people who work with family members. Obviously, we have in your salons, You've got this delight right here that some would call a delight, Harriet. And did your Keely used to work in salon as well at one point?
She worked in it before me.
Yeah.
My niece, Kelly.
Kelly worked for my mum for years as well.
So has it been an easy road or a rocky road? And that we don't have to go in. We don't have to upset anyone and go into it.
Oh, she will. She will. Go into it.
Well, not all back, Jamie. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But you know why? Because we give them an easy ride.
Yeah.
A really, really easy ride. And what they do, they would never, ever dare turn up and do the things that they do. And, you know, and then when you do tell them, they chip back at you. Whereas a member of staff wouldn't.
Yeah.
And also, you know what she used to do, especially at Anne Keely? When
Not you, Kelly.
Remember, there's 14 years difference with you and Keely, isn't there? So Keely worked for me when she was 18, and now she's 47.
Yeah.
Six.
She don't even know her own daughter's age. We can tell who favourite is.
And then, you know, if I'd got anything, I mean, there's sometimes we'd employed 15, 16 staff.
17 at most, I counted, yeah.
And so if I were going to, you know, if they knew that I would on one with one of them,
kicking off,
or whatever, they'd like, don't say anything while I'm in, don't say it. And then, or they would defend the member of staff. And they'd chip in, and I'd say, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I'm going in here and you keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's took all this time for them to realise that you do have good members of staff, and I've had some that's worked for me a lot of years.
Do you know what? I was thinking this today. We have got 2 members of staff that's working for us at minute, and they have worked for my mum 24 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think Kerry longer because
I were 8, so 24 years.
Yeah.
24
Wow.
years? Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we do pride ourselves on keeping them long term, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. And we've had she's had members of staff as well that have left and actually come back.
Yeah.
And come back a couple of years later and said, and I tried self-employed and it didn't work.
Yeah,
and she'd be like, it's all right, you can come back here. Yeah. And some of them would be like, what? Why are you having her back? You know, like, they wouldn't be happy. But
and on the flip side, we've had members of staff that's worked for us, hated each other when they've worked for us. And then we had one instance, we had 2 leave they hated each other. And then they left in a week.
Yeah.
And they went and set up together.
Business.
And they lasted about 6 months together.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your advice for getting into business with your family or employing your family is avoid.
Avoid.
I think, do you know what? I do honestly think this. I think don't get into business with family, because there's never an off switch. Like I used to, obviously, when I lived at home, I used to come home and I used to say to girls at work, I live with my boss. So all the way, like when I got home, all over dinner, we'd talk about his work. In morning, straight away, 7 o'clock in the morning, she were kicking off about work and I'd be thinking, oh my God. And then I only ever disliked my sister when she were in salon and worked at side of me. Absolutely loved her. Outside her, great. Got on great.
Yeah.
Only time I were ever annoyed with my cousin, Kelly. Sorry, I know you're listening to this. I'm so sorry to say this. Only time she ever annoyed me was when I worked alongside her.
Yeah.
Amazing outside of work. So just don't get, and do you know another thing as well, I think, don't get, and I know I shouldn't say this actually, I'm going to say don't get into business with your best friends, but I am with you, so. But apart from me and Jamie, I wouldn't ever recommend working with really good friends either.
Yeah. We don't really fall out. We can't be mad at each other, I don't think.
No.
If you piss me off, I just tell you.
Yeah, in fact.
Done. And then it's squash, we move on.
This is your motto in everything, isn't it?
That's nice if you've got that relationship. And I always say that whatever's happened with our girls throughout the years, I can't hold back what I've got to say to them.
Yeah.
And I always say to them, I'm speaking to you like I'd speak to my own girls, my own daughters. and my niece and Imogen, my granddaughter. And, you know, I do...
Yeah.
Is it delivery?
Yeah. You deliver, you can say.
It might be a little bit abrupt and that, but once I've said it, I've forgotten it, and I never ever.
A lot of people do say that is what's good about you, though, as a salon owner and as a boss, that as soon as she can't rest. If something's like bothering her about a staff member, she can't rest until she's got them and told them. And then as soon as she's told them, everybody forgets about it.
Squash,
and we move on.
Move on.
And
There's
it's
no
great.
point hanging on to it and going round in circles, is that you're just wasting time.
And I always said to him, Jamie, I'm not saying to you what I won't say to my own girls, my own family.
Yeah. Right.
And I also said to him, I'm telling you because I want you to be the best. I'm telling you for your own good.
You actually want them to
I want them to look good. I want them... I look at a cut what they've done or whatever, and I said, "Are you happy with that?"
Well, you know what she does? Her favourite thing is, you know, if we ever put anything on Facebook, if I ever put any of my work, even my eyebrows, guys, okay, my mum still tells me to this day how to do eyebrows. You do, Mum?
I know I do.
She zooms it
tonight.
Move her. So she zooms in on her iPad. She's got the biggest iPad you've ever seen on planet.
12.9.
She zooms in and she'll say, "Well, that don't look very good there. That you should have took that hair out. Take that off. No, it don't look good." And I'm like, "Mum, it's got something like 300 likes on it." It's just, she's very, she's watching everybody's work that goes on. She's watching, definitely. So, Mum, have you had any mentors through your career that's inspired you? You can say no if you've not. If you've just been
No, I haven't.
Have you not?
No.
Good for you, girl.
No, I haven't.
Good. We said that at the same time, didn't we? Good for you, Mum. Good for you. You've had nobody.
No.
You've had nobody that's pushed you.
Nobody.
Do you know what?
I bet not somebody, but I bet like obviously raising your kids and stuff, that's the driving force behind you to like be and do everything that you've done and be who you are, is to provide and like have the best life for yourself and your kids into it. If there's not necessarily like a person that's...
Yeah.
I hadn't got any. I'd not got any family members who I could look up to or done well in anything, or, you know, I wanted to follow or be inspired by. Or...
Wow, that was shady. No, you can say it. We're great. It's great content. Keep going.
What?
I've not got any family members.
WhatsApp group's going to blow up. I hear this.
No, I haven't though.
I know. I'm laughing because it's true. I know.
Because
I know.
You know, I've come from nothing, and
I know.
If I were
have come from nothing.
If I were going to do anything, it was just about doing it myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And everything that I saw that I could, because I went on to other things then, you know, like sunbeds and
it's all
shapers, toning beds and things like that, and it were all
went into beauty and stuff like that. It were all
trained in beauty then.
I know. What's the favourite thing that you always tell me? Do you know, because I do semi-permanent makeup, she'll try and tell me about it, and then I'll say, "Oh, Mum, shut up, you don't know," and she'll be like, "I got my certificate in..."
Jamie, I'll show it you. It's in the dining room. I'll show it before you leave. Show it you.
When did you get your semi-permanent makeup certificate?
Same year as Karen Bates.
That's her claim to fame. She loves that.
Absolutely.
Like, same year as Karen, I got my certificate.
Well, I went to Manchester Beauty Show, and there was one person there, and they called it, I can't even remember a second name, but it called her Shirley from Essex.
Right.
And she was like a little, really, really tiny, about 4'11". I don't know whether she were Greek, Egyptian, or whatever. Right. And I remember she came from Essex. I picked her up at Doncaster Station, brought her into the salon at Worth, and she trained Keeley.
Right.
And because I would just mesmerised by this. When I'd seen she was the only one on this really little tiny stand at Manchester.
Wow.
Doing it weren't microblading, it was semi-permanent.
Yeah.
And
it weren't even a machine, were it?
No.
It used to just be a handheld tool that you like digged in the skin.
It was a little pen that you just,
dug in the skin. Crazy.
So with warmer months just around the corner, people everywhere will be getting festival, holiday and wedding ready. So spring and summer are lash artists' best friends. With a constant demand for low maintenance but glamorous lash treatments throughout these months, lash lifting has become a must-have beauty treatment, and this is where Nouveau Lashes come in. There's never been a better time to train as a Nouveau Lashes lash artist, as they're giving our listeners 10% off LVL lash lift training and LVL conversion training. So if you trained elsewhere, you can actually do a conversion course. All you've got to do is use code WTP10 at checkout, and that will get you that 10% off. But be quick, because the discount code is only valid until the 30th of April.
Back.
Woohoo.
So, Mum, let's talk about the dreaded C word.
Oh.
That C word.
Wow.
God.
You know what C word? She's thinking, is this a C word I better not be hearing? It's COVID. So, how do you think that COVID affected our business? Do you think that we've recovered, or what do you think's happened?
It's affected every business.
Yeah.
And no, we haven't recovered.
No.
No one has.
Yeah.
I think we will eventually, but but we've been hit with the electricity and the petrol, everything, stock increases, everything.
Do you think all this stems from COVID, though? Do you?
I don't know. I feel like there were obviously COVID and that effect, but then now with cost of living crisis and
I just
as
feel
you
like
said,
we've
I'm
never,
like gas, electric,
everything,
food, everything. Nearly £5 for Heinz tomato ketchup. It's disgusting.
No.
Yeah.
Like, and I think in our industry as well, because the treatments that we offer to some people, like, they'll always have it done, but to a lot of people, it's a luxury. And the first things to go when money starts getting tight are luxuries.
Yeah. They are.
When every week they go to the supermarket and prices are going up, there's things that they're going to cut back on.
Yeah.
Are the things that they can do without.
Yeah.
I mean, this is completely off topic, but I'm just going to say it because I think it's hilarious.
Go on.
But I will never go hungry. And you want to know why?
Because you're vegan.
No.
Why?
Well, that as well. But the lovely Anne Thacker, when she's doing her shopping, if she sees any little whoopsies that are vegan, she'll say, I'll get them for Jamie.
Yeah.
And Harriet turns up with like a little pack up to go in freezer saying, my mum sent you these. So I'll never go hungry.
You absolutely
won't, love. No,
you will not. No.
Now I know you're up for it, Jamie.
No.
Yeah. Listen, I'm going to
He's up for a
bombard
good
you with them
time.
now.
Yeah. I've already said I'm going to get a chest freezer.
You need one.
Oh God, funny. But do you know, before COVID as well, my mum, for some of you that don't know, you decided to completely venture out and get a bar, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because my mum is a jack of all trades, master of everything.
Yeah.
Not master of none, a master of everything. She's good at everything. Well, so she has opened a bar, and you were trying to open that when COVID were happening, weren't you? And it was just horrendous.
Well, I can remember, Harriet, years ago, when you could go to a bank manager personally and ask them to borrow money.
Yeah.
And you saw the bank manager. Now, you've no chance with that. And I can remember him saying to me when I was quite young, when I went and borrowed money to get toning beds, there weren't many people had got them then. And he said to me, oh, you're an entrepreneur. I didn't even know what that was. And there were no Google then. There were no Google.
There were only libraries.
And I just asked Jeeves. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that came a lot long after this. And he just said, you're an entrepreneur. And I thought, I had to keep going over my mind. An entrepreneur, what's one of them? And I can remember I had to look it up in a dictionary. To see because that's what we had then. We had a dictionary. And I didn't know what it, whether it would be offensive saying I were an entrepreneur.
She didn't know what it was. Do you know what you have always though? You just find different. You are an entrepreneur because you always think of different ways to be successful in business. Like this is God's honest truth. We went to like a fairground, like a bonfire when it was bonfire night, and my mum was stood. I took my cousin's little girl Evie. I took her on a ride, and my mum was stood waiting for us. And by the time we got off, she went, "Do you know how much they make on that ride?"
It was
unbelievable,
Jamie.
She went,
£4 a ride.
She timed it.
How many minutes?
She timed how many minutes the ride were on and counted how many people were on. And before the end of the night, she Googled how much a fair ride were to buy. And she was like, "Do you know they were making something crazy like $5,000 an hour?"
It would honestly,
it was mental. It was mental.
All these children that were getting on it were £4 a ride, weren't it?
Yes, so she was like,
and it was for like
I'm going to Google how much
3 or 4 minutes they were on this ride.
Yeah.
And we had a quick calculation how many kids were on this ride.
She did. Yeah, crazy. You've had the most craziest ideas wanting to open a car wash or an all-girls car wash.
Yeah.
Wanting to,
that were in the 80s.
Have a Prosecco van. She wanted to have a Prosecco van. She really wanted a burger van at one point. Really wanted one. That's still a little niggling idea in her mind. She wants to import caskets.
Absolutely.
So, next question, Anne. Have you got any advice or how have you navigated your business when, say, like one of your popular staff members leaves? Do you like, if you've got a staff member and everybody comes to them for a certain treatment, they're well known for it, and then, they leave for whatever reason, how does it affect, like, the business? How have you navigated through that?
Well, on a personal level, it does upset you a little bit, especially if they've been with you for a long time.
Yeah.
And they become like a family member, you socialise with them and things like that. So a lot of times when they do leave, they're a little bit sneaky.
Yeah.
They're not going to come up front and say, "Oh, I'm going to go and do whatever." Then they start, they like go behind your back telling clients.
Yeah.
I'm setting my own business off, slipping them little business cards and what have you. And that's happened to me and lots
so many
over
times,
the years.
Hasn't it? Yeah.
And on a personal level, it hurts you.
Yeah.
Before business,
yeah,
it hurts you emotionally on a personal level, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you can't help but take it that it's a personal attack. Yeah. Sometimes you forget that because like when you're your own business owner, I think because you take that as like that's your life and that business means so much to you, and that's like these girls at your salon are your family, then if somebody does do something, you forget it's just a job to them.
You don't see it as, first and foremost, you don't see it as your business.
No, you see it as personal.
You see it as on a more emotional level.
Yeah, because you do form like, we always say this at our salon, we see each other in our salon more than we see our own family.
True.
Yeah.
We spend more time together, so it's really important that we all get on.
Yeah.
And I know 100% if girls don't get on, they always have it out with each other. Always.
Yeah, they do.
Or there'll always be some form of somebody will have told somebody what somebody said or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think when somebody does leave, you can't help but feel upset by it first, and then you have to kind of see it from their point of view, don't you? And think, well,
they're bettering themselves, or they're trying to.
Yeah.
But then it's what I don't like is like the sneaky ways that they'll lie to your face.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'd rather them be upfront.
We've had a hell of a lot of people throughout the years. I mean, we're just used to it now. Like it comes. We don't have a massive turnover of staff, but we've seen it happen that many times. But I think they'll either go when they go and work in a salon that's literally a stone throw away. It's literally like 10 metres away. Or they'll open a salon that's just 4 doors down.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know, like, and you think...
We've had this done.
I know, I'm speaking from experience. I know, I'm speaking...
When they leave, they come back on your doorstep.
Because they want their clients.
That's sad because they're not confident enough to move further afield and start
fresh.
Yeah. So they come on your doorstep. Yeah. And sometimes, which we've had this, Harriet, and clients are embarrassed because they've approached them. They don't want to go with them.
Yeah.
They don't always want to go with them. And they feel bad, even though they've liked them while they've been in our salon. How do we tell them we don't want to go with you?
Yeah.
So, I just think let them choose.
It's a tricky one, isn't it, when it comes to, because there's no way of like manning it or policing it or if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess it just comes down to how you as a salon owner handle it and deal with it and move on from it.
I do think we were talking about it once, Mum, and you did say to me, sometimes it does give you the kick up the backside that you need.
Yeah.
We once had,
can be a bit blasé. You do become a little bit blasé and think, they're going to stay with you.
Yeah. I mean, we once had, this were years ago, but we once had actually 2 stylists and 2 hairdressers and a beauty therapist leave in the same week.
Wow.
And they were all big because they were setting up a salon. So they all left. And then they tried to come back for our other stylists, but they said no. They were like, no, it's fine. That salon's not open anymore. So, but yeah, it can be a kick in teeth, I think, but it's expected. And do you know what? There's been, where our salon is, there is 14 hair and beauty places in that's
small.
In that town. Like there's one across road. There's one like, I don't know, 2 doors down or whatever, round corner, whatever. And I think when a new business always comes into our the town or whatever, our clients will always say to us, oh, has that affected you? And we're like, no, because my mum's been there. Like my mum's had that salon 47 years. So there's no, we're established. And I think if you're confident enough in your own work, and I think it's really important as well, I know you agree with this, Mum, to be friendly with other people that's in industry.
Absolutely. We've never, ever been in competition. We always help one another, aren't we?
Yeah.
And Adrian, who's my best friend, who worked for us when he was 18, he's now 50. And
he'll love you telling people that.
He looks fabulous. And he's like over road from me.
Yeah. But you've always stayed like friends and stuff, haven't you?
Absolutely.
And now you're the very best of friends.
Yeah, we've opened a bar together.
Yes. Yeah, and they're actually in business joint together now. Yeah.
That's it. There's no need for it to be
bitchy and
there's so much of that goes on anyway. Like there's no reason for us to contribute towards that. If there's a salon next door, great. What can you learn from them? What can they learn from you? How can you help each other out?
We've always been like that, Jamie. You need to support each other because it's an industry that we all need to stick together and to support each other and not go cheaper and try and I'm going to get some clients in because I'm going to be cheaper than you. All support each other because people will come, even if you're in a big salon, they will come to who they prefer and who they want,
regardless of the
price of the premises.
I remember I were keeping my prices. Adrian actually gave me a really good bit of advice because I were keeping my prices all at quite a cheap amount, and I didn't really want to put them up. And I'd got a big clientele like I have now. And Adrian actually said to me, "But raise your prices, and your clients will still stay because you're good at what you do." And I was like, "Oh no, I don't." He went, "Trust me, just do it." And I raised them all, and every one of them still stayed. Nobody questioned it at all, and I just did it. And then it's just like about believing in yourself as well, really, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, because you've got to think about what you're worth, and your time's worth, And if you charge cheap, then they think that you're only cheap.
Yeah.
That's you know.
Yeah.
So you've got to keep your price at what you think you're worth.
Yeah, definitely.
And
right, my prices are going up then.
I always
I'm
tell
worth a
you
bloody
this.
lot.
I do. I tell him this all the time, Mum, to hire his prices. Tell him.
Yeah.
I've told you before.
yeah,
I think I charge more than you.
You don't. You don't. We'll compare after this podcast, but I don't think you do.
It's not about ripping anyone off.
Yeah, no,
it's about what you're providing and what you're worth.
Yeah. And it's not only,
and if you're gonna sell
it's the full package.
If you're going to sell yourself cheap, then the clients that you're getting will think, oh, it's only cheap.
And listen, guys, if you pay cheap, you pay twice, so...
Yeah.
True.
Get them prices up. Look at cost of living crisis. Get them up.
We've seen that, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've seen that.
Definitely. So, what is the best advice, Mum, that you can give somebody at being successful?
I think, all this free advertising now that's on Facebook, Instagram, everything, TikTok, whatever.
Wow.
Well, and I'm not technical
She
at
knows
all.
TikTok.
Look, I've got a little notebook here, look, with a little pen. That's me.
That's not our technical, she gets.
No, but it's all free. And when we used to, years ago, when we used to have to do advertising, we paid hundreds and hundreds of pounds to put it for one day in a newspaper. And that were it. It were done. The newspaper went into wrapping your fish and chips up then.
Yeah.
And so you've got all that free advertising. Use it.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 everything on what you're doing. Also, promote yourself. Yeah. Because no one is going to promote you, yourself, like you.
Yeah.
So promote yourself.
Yeah.
All the time. Bang your work on.
Bang on. Get it banged on.
And but it's free. I can't
My
believe
mum,
why you don't.
And I've never noticed it, and I've never even thought of this. My mum will say free advertisement.
It
is. Yeah. Social media is free advertisement.
Well, yeah, I remember that because I know what I've paid over at past to advertise.
Yeah.
But listen, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Promote yourself.
Yeah.
And there's nobody going to promote you like you.
Yeah. Because you need to, as much as you're going to push your salon or the treatment that you're offering or treatments, people like people.
Correct.
And people will come to you for their hair doing because they like you as a person and you do an okay job.
Yeah.
They know they could go somewhere else and get a better haircut, but because they vibe with you and they love having that time with you and laughing and joking or whatever it is, that's a big reason why they come to you as a person.
Yeah.
So,
I believe that.
Yeah.
And I know, Jamie, because I've seen that over the years, like even me, myself, when I was practicing doing stuff, like when you cocked up with things or something went wrong, if they like it, they'd say, hey, look you've cut this too short or whatever, you get away with it.
Yeah.
But if your personality's not there
and you haven't got that friendliness with
you
them,
ain't got that bond with them, they would be out there and they'd badmouth you all over.
I think what's really important
is that rapport.
Yeah.
You've got to build that rapport with your clients.
Yeah. And you have always been, and what's been really good for you being successful as well, I think personally, is you're a people person. And you adapt to any, if somebody comes in really posh, oh darling, she can mix with the posh. But then if somebody comes in that's like, I sell ass,
rough and ready,
she's like, they're all right.
I'm down with them as well.
Yeah. So she's like a chameleon.
Yeah.
But you are.
And you know what? And they're like that. And you've got to, and you know what? Some of the things that I've noticed that over years, which I used to tell our girls, let the client talk to you and tell you their problems and what's going on in their life.
Yeah.
Don't cut them dead. Then start saying, well, this happened to me and I had this and that. Whatever. Forget what's happening in your life because they're opening up to you. You also become the therapist.
Yeah. Massively.
And that is a good thing because, if they've sat there and they've been able to just talk to you, and unload their problems off. And we used to have a girl all the time, and I used to have to call her back and say, Lisa.
Just name drop.
Listen, we've had loads of Lisas, so they'll never identify. We said, Lisa, let him talk. Let him talk, because she just shut her down. You know what I mean, don't you?
Yeah,
She just shut her down and tell you what she's saying.
Oh, God, funny. Mum, I want to end it on some funny notes.
Come on, then.
Right.
Fire away.
I'm ready. Right, listen. I want to
that Moët and Chandon needs opening.
After the final quiz, my mum's got us some Moët Chandon because it is the end of season 2, and I hope you're proud of us. Are you proud of us?
Very proud. Yeah.
Thank you. And so I want to hear first. What is the worst and funniest excuse that a staff member has ever used for not coming into work?
You know what this is.
There's been so many.
What, Harriet?
No, go on, tell it. She told me this earlier, but
it was. She rang in saying that she couldn't come in to work because she'd taken the potential groom's granddad to look at the wedding venue, and he dropped dead.
At the wedding venue.
At the wedding venue.
While they were showing him round. Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
And was it a true story?
No.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Made up.
She completely made it up.
No.
Yeah.
She made that up.
But what a lie.
To have 2 days off sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Grandad were at wedding.
Grandad were in salon getting his hair done for wedding.
Well, I think he were called Jesus because he were reincarnated. Came back from the dead.
Oh, God. I mean, I were on about it, actually. We were at Girls in Salon. A few weeks ago, we were talking about it. I said, can you remember when that crazy...
Lindsay.
Yeah, we'll not say her name, Lindsay.
We can tell Lindsay. We can say the first names.
Yeah.
She'll know who she is if she's listening.
Yeah. She probably not, because she's probably faked her own death or something. She was that much of a compulsive liar. But that were a crazy excuse, weren't it?
God,
we had to have police to get her actually physically removed from Salon, didn't we, Mum? Can you remember?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That were hilarious.
I want to ask you, because I've put this question down, and in my head I've replayed your reaction because I know it's just going to be comical.
Go on.
What is your least favourite beauty trend?
Oh, Jamie. Jamie.
Go on.
I hate these lashes. These Daisy Cow pantomime lashes.
She said, what do you
drag queen lashes. That why ever these beautiful looking girls have them. And by the way, some of our girls in Salon, I'm not going to name names.
They know they
are. But they've got beautiful eyes, gorgeous eyes, lovely young pretty girls. And they'll go home and then they come back a few days later, and I can hardly see. Their eyes, they're like cutting off because they've got these huge,
sweeping brushes,
like
on their eyes,
on the eye extension.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're horrible.
Yeah,
I think they're so unflattering. Listen,
they are really.
I love the eyelash extensions if they're done nicely and subtly and
wispy.
Well, nice, whatever suits their eye shape.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
These that come and they're just like plastic. They just look like it's like.
And what else really bugs you about people that have them lashes put on? You know what?
They don't wear makeup.
They don't wear any other makeup.
They come into salon and they've got like these huge. By the way, I see older women with them on as well. You know,
is that a crime?
serving in Worth Market, serving jacket potatoes.
They've
got the big lashes on, and you know that you
no the makeup, just massive jet black lashes, no other makeup, out. And it just really annoys her. You hate it, don't you?
Well, I think if you're gonna bother to go to extreme to have these lovely lashes put on, then just go all hog and put a bit of blush.
I know what you mean though. When they're so like intense and dark and big and heavy,
nothing else on the face.
When you're going
nothing
out,
else on the face,
but nothing
else.
Eyebrows.
Eyebrows are shocking, but they've got these sweeping lashes on.
Yeah.
No makeup.
What don't you allow me ask you this about eyebrows? What don't you like about eyebrows? Whose eyebrows don't you like?
Yours.
Why don't you like my eyebrows?
Because they're too thick.
Yeah, but I don't do anything to them, and that's what she hates.
They look like boys. I told you years ago, and I didn't know that boys' lashes, boys' brows were a thing then. And that's when she was living at home, and you were working at.
Do you mean like not a boy? You mean like an undone brow, like a boy?
Don't like it.
Yeah, she is.
Don't like it. Not pretty, not feminine. Nothing.
Right.
So she's not a fan of brow lamb.
No. I like nice brow. I wish I'd got them. These nice brows, but I don't like that thick, undone.
Can we just say that
thing.
The reason why my mum's not got them is not because I don't do them; it's because she has got no hair.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because my era, the thinner
we're in the process of lasering my mum's old semi-permanent off, and we're going to redo it. That's the process. We're on a journey, aren't we, Mum?
Yeah, but I barely got any brows because
you plucked them out.
Well, years ago.
Yeah.
Plus, I had my thyroid out about 18 years ago.
We don't need full medical history.
There might be ladies on there that do it.
Well, listen, if you've had your thyroid out and you've no eyebrow hair, you're not only one, because Anne Thacker's exactly the same.
No, it does. I know
you
lose your eyebrow.
I know it does. Oh, Mum, you've been hilarious.
We're going to have to wrap up before we get kicked off air.
No, I want to stay all night. I've just got into it. You're not cutting me off. Please. I've only told you a little bit of my life story.
No. Well, we'll just turn pod off and we'll listen to it.
I have not. It's a year since I've had a good-looking lad in my dining room. in my lounge.
Oh, God. Right, we want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for listening to us. And if you love us as much as you say you do, then head on over to Spotify and Apple Music and rate us a 5-star.
And leave us a little review, guys.
We'd love it.
Oh.
If you don't think we're 5-star, don't leave one.
Yeah, just don't bother.
Don't leave one for me.
But that is the end of season 2.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to take a little break. We've not decided how long, but God, do we bloody deserve it. So we are going to have a couple of weeks off.
Yeah.
But buckle up, because, boy, we will be back.
We will be back, and we've already got things in mind what we're going to do for season 3, and it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So thank you,
and
guys.
Let's crack that champagne, guys.
Yeah. Let's crack the champagne now. Bye.
Right, guys, don't forget, that is the end of season 2, but we will be back with season 3. And you have got until the 30th of April to get your 10% discount on LVL training and LVL conversion training. Just head to their website and use code WTP10, and that will get you that 10% discount. And just want to finish this season by saying a huge thank you to Nouveau Lashes for being our sponsor.